able to see how when they approached his car, it came to his window within seconds, they had pulled out their gun, were pointing it at his head, and were using the foulest of language. You'll be able to see them get him out of his car, put him right away in the handcuffs. You'll see them pat him down so that they know he doesn't have any weapons. And not only that, you'll be able to hear George Floyd, when he approaches the squad car, saying he is terrified to be put into that squad car. You hear him say, I think I'm going to die if they put me in there. I think I'll die if I'm put in that squad car. He was terrified. You'll hear him talk about that. He says he was claustrophobic. And then he asked to count himself. Let me count my way into the squad car. And he starts trying to count 1, 2, up, they manhandle him, shove him into the car with the handcuffs on, and you'll see how he freaks out from that. You hear him saying, I can't breathe in the back of the squad car, and we will show you in the back of the squad car where Mr. Chauvin at one point had his hands around Mr. Floyd's neck in the squad car, and another, his arm and elbow around his neck with Mr. Floyd's head here when they were pulling him out of the squad car, putting him on the ground in the prone position, and when the 9 minutes and 29 seconds begins. But you're also going to learn, ladies and gentlemen, at the time they put Mr. Floyd on the ground that way, there were 5 grown men, armed police officers who were on the scene over a fake $20 bill. There were 5 of them there. Mr. Chauvin and his partner, the 2 officers who shown up there earlier in the first place before Mr. Chauvin was there, and a member of the park police. There were 5 there. For a man who didn't threaten anybody, you will see committed no act of violence in any way, who didn't try to run away, and who was put in the prone position this way with 5 grown men, armed police officers present. None of that, ladies and gentlemen, we submit you will find to be an excuse for what happened in the 9 minutes and 29 seconds. We're also going to want you to learn something about George Floyd, George Perry Floyd. His family members call him Perry because he was not simply just an object of the excessive use of force of police. He's a real person. And I want you to learn something about him. At the time that he was killed, he was 46 years old. He was a father, a brother, a cousin, a friend to many. He's originally from Houston, Texas. Even before Houston, he was from my original home state, North Carolina. Fayetteville, North Carolina, before Houston, is where his family was from. He excelled in basketball and football. Loved shooting hoops, even to the end, and kept himself fit that way. He moved to Minnesota from Texas for a fresh start. And the rest of this you learn about him. His work as a security guard, that he lost his job when COVID hit. He's a COVID survivor, George Floyd was. And he lost his job as his employer was forced to close given COVID. But the point to all of this is that we want you to know something about who George Floyd was as a person, because he was somebody to a lot of other bodies in the world.